Okay, step 3 in our performance-oriented influencer marketing 101 series, where you're going to learn how to start and scale your influencer partnerships with Modash, or without if you prefer, but we much prefer with. So, prepping for launch. Having a game plan is critical. Having a process that you're ready to implement is important. You can't just go buying tools willy-nilly and hoping and praying for the best. We want this thing to work, and we want to be sure that it will. So let's make a plan. First things first, guinea pigs, of course. I know we both want our coffee company to rule the world, but we need a place to start. And since we're just starting out, we need to choose one. We need to choose that place to start, and it's called a guinea pig city, a city that we are going to first target with our creators. You can, of course, choose a couple if you want, but I wouldn't go choosing 100 cities to target right away. This starting market should be as specific as humanly possible. It should consider where you can ship to, or where your product is available, and maybe even where it's less expensive to ship, or where your margins might be higher. Having that very specific market is going to help you make more informed decisions, get the ball rolling so you can move fast and get this thing started. Next up in our preparation is deciding your budget. How much you can pay creators is obviously prerequisite to outreach, because you need a starting point to negotiate against. We highly encourage you to pay creators based on the number of conversions that they actually earn for your company. Using promo codes and trackable links and other attribution wizardry, you're going to have a really clear transparency into how well each creator is performing, and then you can pay them out at the end of the month. Some things to consider when you're choosing how much to pay creators per conversion are things like how much margin you have when you actually sell your product. So if your products cost $100, do you make $50? $40, $100? Is it 100% margin? That information is going to be key in deciding how much you can afford to pay per new customer, of course. The other metric you might want to think about is your customer lifetime value. If you have a really high customer lifetime value because, for example, you're like a subscription box to a luxury goods company, or you're a subscription app and customers tend to never ever leave, then you can probably afford to pay a little bit more per customer. But if you're struggling to decide how much to pay in the beginning, look to your best acquisition channels. What's working now? If you have Google ads working perfectly and you're really happy with $60 acquisition costs through Google, then try that as a benchmark. See if you can meet that first and then even beat it. Some people get a little nervous at this point and tell me that they don't think creators will accept these kind of deals. But I promise that maybe implementing activation fees, leveraging free product, and being a little empathetic to the creator's situation and just talking to them about why they're nervous about those kind of deals is going to get you somewhere. You're going to find a way. We'll talk more about that in the recruiting and the relationship management part of this series. Highly recommend you check that out, as well as attribution in the attribution section of the video series. Very last thing in the preparation part of this process is figuring out the practical bits of paying out your creators. Make sure you go and check with your accounting department and whoever is responsible for your budget, and make sure that you have a really clear plan how you can compliantly pay out these influencers and how much you can negotiate on price. And that's all for the preparation stage. If you have those things figured out, you should be in a good place to go ahead and start finding the right partners, which is what we'll talk about in the next video. Thank you so much. I'm Avery from Modash, and I appreciate your time. Have a lovely day.